the story of my life. Let's do Mage. It's my only gold champion. Let's impress people with our goldness. So Dragon's Fury is a really good one to have first. It gives us a lot of options. Oh, gonna pause it. Gonna pause the music real quick just for the picks, so that we can post this on YouTube. Do our picks. So Dragon's Fury first is a great card to have first because it lets you know that you can't take the lower cost ones. So Silverhand Knight actually gets you some pretty good value here. They were going to name you Happy Little Accident or Bob Ross. Which one? Because one of those names is way better than the other. I'm not going to say which, but I think you know. So the Silverhand Knight gets you some really good value, and until a week or two ago was seeing some play in the arena, but because of the aggression of the arena, man, we gotta just out aggress our opponents. Let's go with a 2-drop. I like the idea of getting some elemental chains going here, but I feel like that never works out for us, chat. Right? I feel like when we want the elemental chain, we just don't get it. So it's between one of these 4-drops. I like the board position of the Grim Necromancer. We might regret that. Not as much as we regret passing up the Assassinate for the Stonehill Defender. That is a life lesson that we will always remember. Is it too aggressive to take the Worgen Infiltrator? So we do need some spells. We do need some spells for our Dragon's Fury. Not a lot. I don't think this is worth taking. We could get value out of Cube. I think it's early enough to take it as a solid 5-drop, right? I don't think we really need Worgen Infiltrator. I'd rather get like a Mana Worm for a 1-drop. We can get value out of Secrets, but I think the Scale Height is just too good of a 2-drop. So we definitely do not want the Shifting Scroll, guys, because our Dragon's Fury is our only spell right now. Shifting Scroll counts as a 0 in your deck. When it's in your deck, it counts as a 0. I think we can get some value out of the Alchemist. Do we want the card draw? So I'm still thinking of Dragon's Fury here. Do we want to take counter spells and have it be 3 mana at some point? I don't think we do. I think we want to go for the big rolls. Let's do it. So it's hard to pass up on a 4 though. These are both really good. So when you're playing Mage in Arena, you hopefully can get a Spellbreaker. That's really your only chance at a silence. After that, Polymorph. That's a silence too. It doesn't go through untargetability. It doesn't go through the membrane like the silence does, but at least then it's an answer. I don't know if we want it for our Dragon's Fury or not. 4 is at least probably the minimum we want, especially since these are both super good. But I think for now, we take the Bonemare and just try to get a super aggressive deck going on. Let's take the charge. I actually like all of these guys. The Big Game Hunter could get us some insane value, especially since we're leaning heavily on minions, passing up on things like Polymorph for Bonemares. So this could get us some crazy cheese. But we might want to just roll with it with the 2-drops. We don't have a 1-drop yet. Arcane Artificer is a really good one because it's got the elemental tag, and it could, if we end up with a Flame Strike or something, or Blizzard, which we're looking for, which are the spells we really want, we could end up with some armor out of this guy. But if we're looking for the steamroll here, we've already got a couple really solid 2-drops to just build on. I'm going to take the elemental. We're going to go with that. Not sure it's best. Banshee could get super good for steamrolling. We've seen this take games in its own hands and just Kool-Aid Man through the wall, right? This guy could become the Kool-Aid Man, just punch right through the wall, keep it going. I don't know if we have enough to go for it. I'm always afraid. Let's take another fisherman. I'm just gonna cop out here. So it's between these two, and there is a chance we get a freeze, right? A blizzard, a water elemental, so then this guy could get us some really good value. We haven't been the luckiest lately, so maybe the Mystic, I don't know. I mean, there is the chance our Mystic, our 2 cost is better than theirs, but I feel like maybe we avoid the tilt. Maybe we roll the dice on just having a solid 3/4 there. Ooh, Fungal Mancer, that's an easy pick. Take that every time. So this gets us a random spell, but since we're going, man, Sea Giant is perfect for this deck. Let's do it. We're playing some insane Sea Giant Mage here. Let's do it. This is working out really well. All we need is just like 1 or 2 spells, right? All we need is a Flame Strike and a Blizzard. Blizzard, is that too much to ask? Every other mage seems to have them, right? Maybe a Meteor. Okay, if you want to give us a Meteor, that's fine. So we're halfway through the deck now. We only have 1 spell. That's actually really good, I feel like, in the arena meta right now. That said, do we have any taunt at all? Maybe we've got to take the Rook and just see if we can get it as taunt, right? You know what? We don't need taunt. We don't need no stinking taunt. We need a 3-drop. We don't need the taunt. Ooh, there's the Blizzard. Can't possibly pass up on that. So the value out of this guy might be the swing we need at some point. What do our 3-drops look like? At the same time, our 4-drops are kind of lacking here. We don't love this curve. Actually, if we could fill the 3-drop curve better, though. But drawing a card, especially since we have to pass up on Arcane Intellects, might be worth it. Might be worth just drawing the card here. But if we get a dragon out of the trade, it's kind of we need to take advantage of this value, right? So let's do the Dragon Slayer because oh man, the game's trying. It's trying to give us 3 crummy spells. No, I don't want to see 3 spells. That's not cool. The Chain Gang. Okay, so there's a card draw and there's a discover. So we passed up on some elementals earlier because they didn't really fit in, but I think we have 2 now, right? Or do we only have that 1? Okay, so all we have is the Arcane Artificer still. So in that case, we take the well, yeah, we take the Loot Hoarder. Let's go. Let's do it. Ooh, there's an elemental. We like to see that guy. What do our big drops look like? So obviously Sea Giant is the goal. Getting out the Sea Giant is the dream. If we can't get value out of these guys, what's a better guy to rely on? I think the Frost Elemental, right? 1 less mana, we get the freeze, we get to keep going face. So the Shrieking Shroom is not as good as a Ravencaller. I wish we had a Ravencaller. Do we want a 2nd Artificer? I don't think so. I think we want the 5-drop for when things slow down a little bit. There we go. That's a good elemental. Let's take that. Ooh, there's our Flame Strike. Look at that. You know what we need, guys, is we need a Spiteful Summoner here. Could we get a Spiteful Summoner draft going? Spiteful Summoner Arena? So the Sneaky Devil could be super good for us. The Leper Gnome, just to have something to fit in when our mana is running out. I don't know. That's actually a tough one. Let's do the Sneaky Devil. Let's get some value out of that. Alright, there's our poison. Now all we need is a silence. Let's go. Ugh. So I like the idea of Toothy Chest. It just never got there. We always like it. It just never worked. The value never really works out on the 3-drop because they almost always have something to run into it. I think if this guy were like a 2/0/3 that did the same, that would be better. Or maybe a 5. I don't know. Maybe a 4/0/5. It's just on the 3 mana, you kind of want something taunt to protect the next play. So then you could play this guy on turn 4, but it just never works out. There we go. Okay, so what do we got here? What do we got? We have 3 spells. Flame Strike, Blizzard, and Dragon's Fury. Is that right? 3 spell. Let's update it. Here we go. 3 spell. 3 spell Mage Arena. Boom. There we go. We are gonna work this out. I wish we had a Spiteful Summoner. Let's turn back on the Foo Fighters and let's do it.